You know, before the internet was what it was, like what album every 2 years was considered kind of typical?
Yeah, like they didn't have Instagram, so they don't see the artists every day. Like back in the day, you could drop an album, get lost, but now they see us so much, we gotta keep them fed with some music.
Is it a lot more pressure?
No, because we knock out 5 songs a night, 5, 6 songs a night.
That's crazy. 5, 6 songs a night.
That's a mixtape in 3 days, man.
Hi, what's needed for you?
Hi, could I get an order of Culture with a side of Dirty Sprite too, please?
So are you getting a combo?
Yes, please.
So your total comes to $12.45.
Thank you.
Try to get tense on you, babe. I got no tense in my view, ayy. Real life rock star, babe.
We live in an era where hip-hop is very similar to fast food, hence the phrase fast food music. The term is pretty self-explanatory, but for those who may be still confused as to what exactly I'm talking about, let's quickly break it down. Not bad. Fast food music is basically when an artist puts together a song or a project in a very short amount of time, which is then released to the fans who listen to and forget about the music just as fast. Over the past 10 years, it seems to be the case that more artists are producing this type of music, and it doesn't look like the trend is slowing down anytime soon. There are a lot of factors that have caused the art form to trend in this direction, yet with that being said, I think it's important to put out a disclaimer early on that not all rappers are making fast food music. I ordered Culture one. And not all of it is necessarily bad. For example, there are plenty of days that I just want to have some fun and listen to a new Future project, even if I really only listen to it once. But with no further ado, I think it's time we just jump right into the video and find out exactly how rap became fast food music.
So we're gonna start with a little tweet from Joey Badass. He basically says, this generation's attention span is too short.
Let's put in context what he's saying. He's saying, yo, I dropped an album 2 years ago. I come back with my new album, and 2 weeks from when I dropped it, you think over it already. What the is up?
Artists like Joey Badass, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole in the context of this video would all be considered 5-star restaurants to many. This is due to the fact that they take their time with the creative process and drop very well thought out albums every 2, 3, sometimes 4 years. Now, before you guys start calling me a boomer in the comments, which I am far from just for your information.
Okay, boomer.
I only say this because based on the definition I provided for fast food music, it is clear that artists such as Kendrick are polar opposites of that generalization. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's look at how we actually reached this new era of rap.
I'm gonna tell you a true story. You ready? True story?
Soulja Boy, you know what I'm saying?
From Chicago, New York, Atlanta, I done went viral.
I'm riding big time on the 22.
Before the word was viral. So I really like finessed the whole game.
Fuck snap music, you see?
You guys are probably wondering, what the did I just watch and why was it filmed on a potato? Well, what you just witnessed was Soulja Boy's first ever video on YouTube that was uploaded on March 15th of 2006, which explains the 360p quality. As the first rapper to take advantage of the internet, utilizing websites such as MySpace and YouTube, Soulja Boy was at the forefront of the fast food era of rap. I'm not saying that all his music was necessarily made quickly and easily forgotten, although more recently that seems to be the case, but the way in which he created his songs and integrated social media with hip-hop played a huge role. See, before the internet and social media became mainstream, the way in which music was made and artists would promote themselves was completely different. Not only were projects much more difficult to produce, but so was actually interacting with your audience. For example, in the past you couldn't just hop on Instagram Live and talk to your fans. The only way to actually communicate with them would basically be through a face-to-face meet and greet at one of your shows. Also, it was very expensive to put together an album back in the day in comparison to now, where all you need is a mic in FL Studios and you're good to go. Which, funny enough, is exactly how Soulja Boy made his breakthrough record, Crank That. With all the factors that I just discussed, it was common for an artist to drop a project every 1 to 3 years. Since consumers had a much longer attention span and there weren't platforms for artists to constantly be uploading new content, this was the reality of the era. Rappers were able to take their time to ensure their music was showcasing the best of their ability, as it would be the only real piece of work that people would hear from them for a while. Needless to say, the industry was operating in a much different fashion and wouldn't see a real shift until the internet and social media took over. Disclaimer, this is not really Dirty Sprite. I mean, it's Dirty Sprite 2, but it's not really Dirty Sprite. You guys know what I'm talking about.
My producer Roger said this is your 101 project. Does it feel like that?
I didn't know till I dropped Delusions of Grandeur. I seen Hip Hop by Numbers website said this is Gucci's 100 projects since 2005.
Mark, did you know that Gucci dropped over 101 projects?
You talking about the real Gucci or his clone?
What the are you talking about? There's no such thing as clones. Gucci Mane, similar to Soulja Boy, was one of the first artists to popularize the fast food rap that we see today. He did this by flooding music distribution platforms such as DatPiff with countless mixtapes over the years, dating back to 2006. For those of you that don't know, DatPiff is a website where artists can upload their projects for people to download for free. This platform launched in 2005 and was an extremely popular place to acquire music, before things such as streaming and SoundCloud gained traction. These types of websites were pretty important in terms of the transition into the fast food era of rap because of how simple and cheap it was for an artist to get their music out to their fans and potentially thousands of new listeners. As platforms such as DatPiff continued to grow and music became easier than ever to create, it only made sense for rappers to start focusing more on quantity rather than quality. By putting out as much work as possible based on the up-and-coming viral nature online, you had a better chance of landing that one single that could change your life forever. I do believe that Gucci Mane may have been taking things a little bit too extreme with the whole quantity over quality thing though, by releasing 12 mixtapes in 2013. But that's just my opinion. Yet with all that being said, arguably the most important change that came from this new internet age of hip-hop was an altered set of expectations from the fans. With more music being accessible than ever and artists starting to drop songs at a faster pace, people started to get accustomed to having new stuff to listen to on a more consistent basis. And with platforms such as Twitter and Instagram on the horizon, the desire to stay relevant was becoming more important than ever.
Right now.
So I was gonna play this awesome clip of Dr. Dre talking about quantity over quality, but unfortunately they had to add copyrighted music in the back, so I'm just gonna narrate it instead. I'm gonna say the same thing he said though. Right now I have to really search hard for something that I really like, but I think it's just about the substance. Right now it feels like there's a little more quantity over quality. I made this song last night, I need to put it out tomorrow. What are you gonna dedicate yourself to?
The art or the money?
Honestly, Dr. Dre made a lot of good points about the lack of quality from some of these new school artists. But at the same time, I do love me some fast food. As we are about to head into 2020, artists are dropping a ridiculous amount of music and putting together projects seamlessly overnight. Like Quavo discussed earlier on in the video, this largely has to do with the 24/7 spotlight that they are under and the fans' constant desire for something new. Oh, and it also helps your sales when you add like 20 plus songs to a project these days with the way that streaming works, so that's another incentive as well. As someone who is online pretty much all the time, I can honestly say that my attention span is so having all this new music is not a bad thing at all. Yet I understand there is a compromise with the quality not always being up to par. With that being said, I believe there's actually a good balance now in the rap game, with artists making both fast food music and 5-star restaurant quality projects. For example, while fans wait for the next highly anticipated J. Cole album, they can be satisfied in the meantime with numerous releases from guys such as DaBaby and Future. And then you have guys like Lil Uzi Vert and Playboi Carti who are just never gonna release music ever again. The main problems that really come to mind with this new era of rap is oversaturation and artist burnout. Let's look at Quavo as an example. In the year of 2017, he was on a total of, are you guys ready for this? 36 songs. And that was just features. That didn't even include Culture One, which also released in January of that year. I'm not trying to discredit his work rate and success, but this is probably the best example of fast food music that I can think of. Artists such as Quavo are notorious for hopping in the booth and freestyling their songs on the spot, which isn't always a bad thing because guys such as Jay-Z have claimed to do the same in the past. But if you go back and listen to all of Quavo's verses, they sound pretty much the same. I was a big fan of his voice and style when I first got on the Migos wave, but after hearing him on a new record every week it seemed like, I quickly became tired of his sound. Although it sucks waiting for music, it's important that artists find that right balance of staying relevant by putting out songs and staying active on social media, yet not spamming the fans with too much subpar music. There's a reason why Lil Uzi Vert is at the peak of his career with just the buzz of Eternal Atake, and Quavo, after dropping all that music, has seen quite the drastic decline.
And that's kind of how, that's the approach I took with the SoundCloud. I'm gonna lay a song a day and build up the fan base one by one.
But now I'm greedy. You gave me a song every day, and now you gave me an album. Are you gonna continue to giving me stuff, or you cut me off?
That's almost how I wanted it to go, where it's like, not only do you expect material, but you want material, because you're almost like, that's what you're supposed to be doing, right?
Yeah.
So like everything in life, there are a few exceptions. Russ, for example, is one of them. By uploading a song a week for over 2 years, he was able to build an amazing core fan base that appreciated the constant stream of new music. I wanted to quickly show this clip of Russ and bring this up because at the end of the day, music is subjective. There's no clear-cut way of doing things, and even though we live in a fast food era of rap, that doesn't mean that amazing music isn't still being produced. Either way, I'm still gonna enjoy and listen to both. Probably a good idea that I wrap this up now because my food's getting cold. I ordered this like 4 hours ago and I haven't really ate yet. I just thought this was an interesting topic to talk about, so hopefully you guys took something away from it. Make sure to let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of fast food music and whether you agree or disagree with the points that I made in this video. I'm Marvelous Beats. I'll catch you guys in the next one real soon. Wait, where the f did my Dirty Sprite go? Hi, could I get an order of culture with a side of Dirty Sprite too, please?
What's that again?
Could I get
What's that?
Sorry, could I get a double quarter pounder? Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna go eat this food now. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.
Drugs, pain, work, girls,